DeMorgan's law is an important law coming from the mathematician Augustus De Morgan. It's used a lot in logic and in this case, electronics and circuitry. Here is what De Morgan's law says. It says the negation of a conjunction is the same thing as a disjunction of two negated statements. That means if you start with an and apply De Morgan's theorem or Morgan's law, you end up with an or. In the other case, if you start with the or, you will end up with an and statement. This is noticed down here in the screen where you have these symbols. These two schematics or symbols at the bottom are electronic symbols showing the two different types of gates that electricians will use when connecting electrical currents. And De Morgan's law is used in that application. Let's use De Morgan's law on these statements. If it is not true that frogs and fish both have fins, we are to apply De Morgan's law. If you start with an and, then you need to end up with a solution that is an or. In the first sentence, that is not an or statement. The second sentence is not an or statement. However, sentences C and D both have or, so they would be one of the correct ones. Remember, it is a negation as well. So in addition to the word or, you need to have the not that symbolizes negation. Choice C does not have not, but choice D does. The correct answer would be choice D. So just remember, if you start with the negation of an and, a conjunction, you should end up with the negation of an or a disjunction. Correct answer here was D. Now let's apply that second part of De Morgan's law. This time we see that it's not the case that it is still summer or there is frost on the pumpkin. If you start with an or and you apply De Morgan's law, you should end up with an and. That is correct. Notice in my answer choices, the only two statements with and would be statements B or C. Now look at this schematic. If I start with an or, I need to end up with an and, but don't forget, they need to still have not in it. So we need an and statement that has the not or the negation. The only and statement with a not is answer choice C. It has, it is not summer and there is not frost on the pumpkin. Good luck with De Morgan's law.